We're doing it. Doing it again. Wow, that light is like... Now I'm just paper white today because of the sun coming through this window here. That's the extent of my lighting, by the way. I'm sure you've noticed. Hi! Tony here. I have stuff to show you from flea markets and yard sales over the Labor Day weekend. I didn't go like super hardcore, so I don't have great stuff, but I have some stuff, and it is a variety of like Halloween and VHS and video games and electronic things and all kinds of weird shit that I probably shouldn't have bought that I'm not sure what I'm going to do with either. Yesterday, I went to the movies for the first time in a very long time to see They Live, and it was like the Fathom events. Not sure if you're familiar with it, but if you go online, look up Fathom events, they have a bunch of like throwback movies they'll show in select theaters. They Live, next week is Christine and the Goonies, which I don't think is a Fathom thing, but they're both playing next week. And then there's going to be a bunch of others, I forget at the moment what they all are. So, I gotta tell you, I'll get to the stuff in a second, but I gotta tell you this, I gotta talk about this. The mall was so sad. Oh my. I went thinking like, oh, this is gonna be fun. A little throwback. I haven't been to the mall in a while. Get some of those like, you know, retro vibes going on. Walk around the mall. Maybe hit the food court. Go to the movies. I hear tales of a new arcade that just opened in the mall. So I'm super excited. I'm like, yeah, this is gonna be cool. So I go an hour early before the movie because I want enough time to play video games at the new arcade, and I want enough time to look around and check out the food court and everything. I walk in. I mean, and this term is thrown around quite a bit, but Dead Mall? This place, man. More than half of the storefronts are just closed. There's just nothing there. There's a lot of weird stores populating malls these days. A lot of just like cell phone store. Not that that's super weird. They used to have those at like the kiosks all the time. Hair salons. This place called like the Dollar Market or something like that, which was kind of interesting. Maybe one of the better stores. FYE is still there, and Spencer's is still there. No department stores anymore. There's like a furniture outlet on the one end, and the other end is a supermarket now. So I'm kind of... Auntie Anne's is still there. Auntie Anne's has held out. So I'm like, alright, cool. Let's ignore this weird feeling I'm getting in my chest that makes me want to vomit and go to the arcade. So I'm walking up and I see this place, Arcade Era, and it's pretty cool. You know, I like the look of it. And I'm excited. I see new video games in there, which is like, okay, but still. So I go in, and there are people sitting at the counter, like when you first walk in. There's a big billboard, well, not big billboard, but you know, like a chalkboard with prices on it. And I'm like, what the fuck's this? So I'm looking at it, and I see, you know, like adult, children, seniors, and prices next to it. I'm like, what the fuck? So I look at the people sitting there who are kind of waiting on me, and I say, is this a normal arcade? I wanted to come in and play a couple games before my movie. And they were like, we don't use quarters and we don't use tokens. I'm like, oh, what do you use? Like, what the fuck? My fingerprint? I mean, what's going on here? Apparently it's a free play. Everything's set to free play, and you have to pay for the day. $25 for an adult. For the day. They stamp your hands. Oh, you could go walk around the mall, you could come back, and you could play throughout the day. I'm like, I don't have the day. I don't want to spend $25 to play a couple games. Like, can I do an hour? Can I do half an hour? No. Just the day. That's it. Like, why? What? Whose idea was this? Like, fine, you know, maybe if you want to go like have your kid's birthday party there or whatever, or if you want to spend the day, that's fine. It's probably a good price if you're literally going to stand in there for like 6 hours or 7 hours playing video games. But what if you want like that half an hour before a movie or whatever? No, you can't just pop a couple quarters in. You can't pay for a half an hour. So I was very disappointed. It just so incredibly disappointed at that. Like, that feeling of, like, kind of dread as I walked into the mall when I first came in, that just re-amplified the whole situation. I'm like, there's a new arcade, I can't even go in this place, because my movie starts in about 45 minutes. I'm not paying $25 for 45 minutes. You gotta get out of your fucking mind. Oh, man. So anyway, that was that. And then I'm like, alright, I'll check out the food court. Two restaurants in the food court. Everything else was boarded up. There was a pizza place, which is not, it used to be Sabaros, it's not anymore. Now it's just some other, it looks exactly the same, but it's some other pizza place. And I think it was like Jamaican food was the other place, Caribbean Vibes or something it might have been called. And everything was like $12, $15. I'm like, okay, all right. I already spent $12 on popcorn and a drink for the movie because I prepaid for everything. It was like maybe $10 with the discount. So I was like, I just wandered around in this weird zombie haze of like trying to remember the good old days of the mall because they are fucking gone. Alright, yeah. That was my story. I'll show you some shit now. I'm sorry. You guys probably fast forwarded through that anyway. Well, you saw it, so I'll show you. Not a great weekend, but I did find a McDonald's Halloween plate. Those cool plastic plates. I forget the name of that type of plastic. It has a name though. I might even have this one. I have one other Halloween McDonald's plate, but it's stored away somewhere, and I can't clearly remember the design. It might have been this one. My luck, it probably is this one, but it was $1, and you know, am I not gonna buy a Halloween McDonald's plate for $1 at the flea market? You gotta be out of your mind. I bought it. Alright. That was actually one of the cooler things, and you saw it first, so let me back off and I'll show you some of the not great stuff. A couple more blank VHS tapes that are sealed, so, you know, fresh for recording. You may remember that I was kind of buying these every time I see them because I wanted to record some of my mixtape, my Halloween VHS mixtape, to either sell or give away or whatever. I probably am not going to actually be able to do that, but it's always nice to have the blank tapes. They're hard to come by these days, or harder to come by. Got some books. Got R.L. Stine's Ghosts of Fear Street, two Hide and Shriek, and Who's Been Sleeping in My Grave. It's a library book. Yeah? Yeah, look at it. It's even got the thing on the back. Oh, you're going to be able to see it. There it is. With the due dates and everything, going all the way back to 2015. I find that pretty cool. It was the Hatchery Hill School Library in Hackettstown, New Jersey, stamped on there. So pretty neat. I mean, you know, it gets to the point. That was like 50 cents. These were a quarter each. Custodian from the Black Lagoon, and the principal, they crossed out teacher, principal from the Black Lagoon. They seem like, you know, these are real young kids' books, but they were a quarter each, and the other thing was 50 cents, and I didn't have any quarters with me, so I basically took these so I could give her $1. But you know me, I am always kind of like into getting that stuff. So that was all from the flea market. I'm gonna show you a couple things from a yard sale. So I went to a few yard sales over the course of the whole weekend, but I didn't hit most of them early enough. Like, we went kind of late, so the stuff that I got wasn't great. But I saw this and I couldn't pass it for $1. It's one of those spinny toys. There's some DC character in there. This is from Burger King. Not super old. You know, it's plastic, so it can't be that old. But I'm not entirely sure who that's supposed to be, because I'm not that big into DC stuff. But it reminds me of, what I wanted, the old the old pumpkins that would spin like that, and inside was like a cat or a ghost or something. Those are the ones that I want, but I settled for this DC thing. My cat's gonna go make off with that. And then that same yard sale, I grabbed a DS game. This is Mario vs. Donkey Kong Mini Land Mayhem. It was what did I pay for this? $3. This was $3. It has the old GameStop, or I don't even know if I guess that's GameStop, the old GameStop like used container thing. It works. It seems like an interesting game. You might remember I got that 3DS for a few bucks a couple months ago, so when I see DS games or 3DS games now, if they're cheap enough, I'll grab them. And let's hit a Halloween item. How about this guy? It's like one of those fake stained glass things. It's plastic. That was $1 from a yard sale. Not the same yard sale, but it was the only Halloween thing they had, and for $1. I think I even have one of these somewhere. I have others like it too. Not my favorite, but you know, they're neat. If they're cheap enough, I'll usually buy them. How about... Alright, I'll tell you about today, and then I'll jump back to the last 3 items from the flea market, which are all like electronic things. Today I was out, today's Monday, so Labor Day, and I was out getting groceries, and I saw a yard sale sign that was exclaiming they are doing it on Monday too. So it's like, alright, I'll go check it out. Now, I mean, let's be honest, this is the ass end of a 4-day yard sale. They started on Friday. So I got there, and it's like mostly garbage at this point. They were sort of trying to make me take, they were like, just take everything for $1, we don't want it. That was that sort of vibe. And unfortunately, I saw a Halloween card, and I was like, oh, the only Halloween thing you have? And they're like, oh, well, we had a lot of Halloween stuff on the first day, but one woman bought it all. I'm like, oh, God, why did I say anything? I shouldn't have even mentioned it. So now that's in my head. So what did I get? I grabbed a VHS copy of The Secret of My Success with Michael J. Fox. Why? I don't know. I really don't know. Because I wanted to get something while I was there. I took that one VHS tape, and they were trying to push all of them on me for $1. I'm like, I really don't want all these. They're not good, most of them. And they had this little laptop. It's like an old Gateway. It's from 2011. I'll be honest, I was just super curious. Like, I just wanted to like poke around in there and see like what the deal was. It didn't have a power adapter. I have a power adapter here that I thought might work, and in fact it should have, but it turns out this battery is most likely dead. Like, the light doesn't come on at all, and when I was checking, I was looking at the battery, and I saw a little like leakage, so I'm fairly certain, like 95% sure that the battery has just croaked. Am I gonna spend like $15 on a new battery so I could get this running? Fuck no. I paid 50 cents for this. I'm not putting like $15, $20 on top of a 50-cent investment that still may not work. So this is going in recycling, unfortunately, but it was worth a shot. I mean, if anyone, well, I'd say if anyone wants it, but then you gotta pay for shipping, and shipping on that thing is probably gonna be ridiculous, so, you know, probably just throw it in. I'm gonna be doing town cleanup recycling things, so I could do that. Believe it or not, only 3 items left. I got Big Screen Tetris, which was $1. It works. In fact, once it turned on, I didn't know how the hell to turn it off. Although apparently it just times out if you let it sit long enough. Oh, that's interesting. I think it actually saves the game that you're playing. Yeah, it does. I'll stop it there because I don't know about like strikes against shit. Ooh, all right. I'm gonna see. I don't know how to turn this off. There's a start button, and that's it. And like when you press it, it just sort of pauses. There's a reset here that might do something, but if you just leave it sit, it turns off. But it doesn't like reset the game, so I don't know. That surprisingly, I paid $1 for it, and that surprisingly is like $20-25 on eBay, which is crazy to me, because you can play Tetris in it's like 100,000 different ways. This, on the other hand, goes for like $1. I saw someone sell it for $1 on eBay, and I would have assumed that a Hocus Pocus Halloween button would be at least a few bucks. I paid $1 for it. I paid $1 for it. Like everything I bought this weekend was $1, 50 cents, a quarter, all very cheap shit. It works, or at least it was working. Let's see. Okay. There's a lot of different sounds it makes.
Somebody shut that door. I'm not eating the whole neighborhood, you know.
Yeah, some of them are, like, it's more jokey than scary in most cases.
Oh, I've got to lay off them burritos.
Right? Like, kind of jokey. Maybe that's why no one wants it. I think it was a Hallmark button. I don't know when it came out, or if it's still available, or what, but, I mean, for $1, you know me. It's Halloween. It's electronic. Makes funny sounds. I'm in. Final item of the weekend. It's just a little Frogger arcade machine. He wanted $2. I'm like, I should have just given him the $2, not be such a cheap asshole. But I was like, I don't really want it. So I was like, I assumed he would say no when I offered $1, but he said okay. I was like, oh, okay. I guess I have to buy it now. So, you know, I mean, it's just got Frogger on it. It works. Take a second to go on. How do you start it? This is the start button. It's got the sound. It's kind of low. And then you use this guy and just... You know, it's Frogger. I died. And that's that. I kind of like, I don't think I'll ever play it really, but I thought it was a cool little like display item with my video game stuff, you know, a little mini arcade. Yeah. Good golly, Miss Molly, that is everything that I got this weekend. Like I said, nothing like crazy, nothing too special. I saw a lot of really cool Halloween stuff at the flea market, but they wanted money, man. There's one booth, I wish I took a picture of it, that was all Halloween stuff. Motionettes, a lot of motionettes, blow molds, all kinds of good stuff. But they, man, like they had one of those big, like the big motionette, that's the Wolfman, that's Frankenstein right there. You could barely see them. But the big ones, not the battery operated. He had one of the big ones in a box. I have a few myself. I've never paid more than like maybe $5 for any of those things. They wanted $100. I'm like, and it was the common witch too. It wasn't like, you know, one of the rare ones. You know, I mean, I'm not gonna pay $100 for a fucking motionette, even if that's what they're worth. I don't buy stuff for what it's worth. I buy stuff for what makes sense to me. And, you know, I'm not reselling them, so I don't feel bad about it. I just got a good deal, and I keep it, and there you go. Not that you all had to hear that. I'm going to go. It's Labor Day. I want to drink this nice cup of black coffee here. And I hope you all have a great Labor Day. I hope you've been enjoying the videos, albeit long-winded and unedited. Check out Retro Days for the polished, awesome videos that I write. Otherwise, I will see you all next time, right here, at the Candy Corn Apocalypse.